Did you know brain rot caused by the phones is actually twice as damaging to moms? Brain rot is what happens when those little breaks you take to scroll actually starts to deteriorate the way your brain works. Your focus, your memory, and even your ability to regulate emotions. For us, this looks like snapping at our kids, losing our joy, and of course, walking into rooms and completely forgetting why. But here's what nobody's talking about. For us, scrolling is only half the battle because simply being a mom is already compromising our brains. Most experts will tell you just put the phone down and pick up a book. While I think you should do that, the advice completely ignores what's happening in a mother's brain. Pregnancy, breastfeeding, sleepless nights, and chronic stress also literally strip our brain of what it needs to feel focused, energized, and motivated. You know that brain fog that won't go away no matter how much coffee you drink? Or maybe even the numbness where that spark used to be for life? That's not a character flaw, it's physical depletion. And layering brain rot from scrolling on top of that is something none of us can afford. Hey, I'm Janelle. I am a homeschooling mother of 4 and integrative nutrition health coach. When I realized my phone was making my ADHD and anxiety symptoms worse and stealing the life I wanted with my family, I deleted every social media app off my phone, and then I went deep into the research to figure out what I needed to give my brain to truly rebuild it and feel sharp again. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did starting with my phone and then how I built my brain back up. I'm going to be talking science, so if you want everything in one easy place, I put together a free brain recovery guide for you in the description below. So let's start with what the digital brain rot does to us all. There are 3 main things happening every time you pick up your phone and scroll. The first one is your joy and reward system, and this is why you have no more motivation in life. Every scroll is giving your brain hits of artificially high levels of dopamine. Not because each content piece is incredible, but because the next one might be. You're basically at a casino playing a slot machine. The random, infinite scroll is what keeps you pulling that lever. Over time, this overrides your brain's reward system. So it needs more and more stimulation to feel the same level of interest. So the things that used to feel satisfying or things you could simply get through now feel unbearable. Now reading a book, playing with your kids, or walking into your backyard feels like nothing. Life begins feeling empty and hollow, and this can seriously lead to depression. Your baseline for joy gets raised so high that real life isn't enough anymore. And that's a terrifying thing to lose, especially as a mother. Now, this second one does not get talked about enough, and that's decision fatigue. Did you know our brains can only make so many decisions in a day? Now, think about what happens when you scroll. You have to decide, do I want to stop and read this? How do I feel about this? Do I want to like? Do I want to comment? Do I want to share? Is this real? Is this made from AI? Then you start analyzing and picking things apart. You just wasted 50 decisions in 5 minutes. Now there's nothing left for all of the real life decisions you need to make, and you feel completely burnt out. And if one more person says mom or asks what's for dinner, your brain literally can't handle it because you've already spent up your decision tank. And for moms, our decision budget is already so tight. We're running through every detail of the day. What are we eating? What do the kids need? What is the most important chore to get done? What bills need paid? We are already drowning, and then you're spending what little you might have left on meaningless social content. Now, the third part about brain rot actually makes me angry because it's the reason we are snapping at our kids and then feeling guilty about it and knowing that that's not who we truly are and we don't know why we're doing it. It's the damn phone. You see, it's not just passively wasting your time, if that's not bad enough. It's actively training your brain to be reactive. Tech companies spend billions of dollars designing content that triggers you because that's what gets you engaged. That's what gets people to comment and share. And the creators know this too. People on Facebook, normal everyday people, are getting paid for their content that goes viral and gets engagement. And those people have realized all I have to do is trigger people. I saw this from a mom too. She posted in a mom's group talking about a different post she made that triggered everyone. And she said, keep laughing, keep fighting with me because I get paid to make you fight with me. She said it. Don't forget that this happens in the groups too, places that used to feel more like a safe space. So you spend a few minutes on Facebook, probably 20 to 40 and not the 5 you intended. You're all anxious and reactive and you can't believe that mom said that. And then your toddler spills milk and you explode. This is how social media completely rewires your brain. Social media has caused your neurons to literally fire and wire this way. It is an actual restructuring of your brain. So yes, please start this journey. Please delete social media from your phone. But we can't just stop here. Because like I said, motherhood in general, the pregnancy, the sleepless nights, the chronic stress, it's already compromising our brain. And that's why it's so much more serious for moms. So let's talk about how to actually rebuild our brains from all of this destruction. We are gonna go from feeling like Dory to feeling like Mrs. Incredible. You're not only gonna get your energy and your thought patterns and focus and control back, you're going to actually start feeling sharp again. So here's the thing. Your baby doesn't just take your energy. It takes your brain's raw materials it needs to run all of these functions we've been talking about. And one of the most important, DHA. Fatty acids literally make up the structure of your brain, but baby takes them, along with choline, which is a nutrient needed to make neurotransmitters for your memory and attention. Also, along with iron, B12, folate, zinc, all of it. And all of this contributes or impairs to your brain function. And then if you breastfeed, it happens again. Your body prioritizes nutrients for the baby. So now you're running low on the materials your brain needs to control your mood, your focus, your motivation, and your ability to regulate your emotions. And then on top of that, you're not sleeping. This prevents your brain from doing its full cleaning cycles. And now you can have some waste buildup and your brain isn't fully repairing itself anymore. So now you have waste buildup in your brain and it's not able to repair itself properly anymore. Then we can layer on chronic stress with the additional mental load that comes with being a mother, the constant vigilance, the refereeing, managing everyone's everything. And now your cortisol levels are elevated all day, which is actually reshaping your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain for rational thinking, emotional regulation, and impulse control. This is a very important part of the brain. So when we say mom brain, this isn't just some personality flaw where mom has let herself go after kids. This is a neurobiological outcome of sustained depletion with no strategic recovery plan. So here's exactly what I did to get my life back and get my brain back. I deleted all of the social media apps, even YouTube. It was really hard at first. I was even checking my email and had to delete that. I had to start putting my phone in a closet or asking my daughter to hide it from me. But by week 2, I really started to get my patience and presence back, and that feeling was enough to keep me going. The other thing I did was switch to a grayscale or a tint on my phone to make it less stimulating. And do not keep your phone in the bedroom. If I do need an alarm, I will plug it in the bathroom where I can still hear it from my room. So that's the first half. Get the bad out. The second half is putting those raw materials back in your brain, giving it what it really needs. And I know this is a lot, so don't forget to download that free brain recovery guide in the description below, where everything is laid out for you super nice. So healthy fats and protein are absolutely foundational. A lot of people don't realize, one, that your brain is made out of fat, so you need to be putting healthy fats in there if you want a healthy brain. And a lot of people also don't realize how protein directly impacts their neurotransmitter production, and that there are so many different types of protein. So I want you thinking eggs, salmon, nuts, and quality meat. I also highly recommend an omega supplement. This one might be hard, but I'm gonna ask anyways. Reduce the caffeine. I'm gonna give you a hack so you're not completely quitting coffee, and there's even a smart coffee recipe in that guide I mentioned. What I recommend is starting to delay that first cup. So at first, just spend some time drinking some lemon water and delaying when you have coffee. And then I did quit having a second cup so that I could sleep better and ended up having more energy and not needing the second cup, okay? Now here's the hack. Nootropics. These are supplements we can take that really help improve our cognition. My favorite, especially to pair with a cup of coffee, is L-theanine. This is a naturally occurring amino acid from green tea. But when you high dose supplement, usually a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you have 100 milligrams of caffeine, you want 100 milligrams of L-theanine. What this does is creates a synergistic relationship between the two. It will actually reduce the negative effects of caffeine, like the jitteriness and the anxiety, and increase that calm focus you really, really want. The last thing that is so powerful we have to talk about is exercising, but not in a snap back your body way, in a I'm doing this for my mental health way. What you want to focus on is raising your heartbeat and lifting heavy things, doing some strength training. Building muscle is actually really helpful for your brain and your longevity in general. So getting your heart rate up could look like jumping jacks, push-ups, jumping on the trampoline with your children. And some weight training could be lifting some dumbbells, kettlebells, and yes, giving your children airplanes with your legs counts. When you exercise, your brain releases something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factors. This is like fertilizer for your brain. It builds up that neuroplasticity. We talked a lot about how social media rewires the brain, and I mean that literally, it's not a metaphor. Neurons that fire together literally wire together. And so exercising will allow your brain to start rewiring the way you want it to wire. As you're detoxing from the social media and wanting to bring back that presence and peace and joy, exercising is going to allow your brain to physically make those shifts. My last message for you is that you're not lazy. This isn't permanent. You just need a recovery plan. You just need the recovery plan that nobody has ever given you. Grab that recovery guide and I will see you in the next video about how our phones are even impacting our physical health. See you there.